It's that time of year again. The rugby powerhouses of the world are dipping into their pockets, or in some cases, the budgets of their unions, to strengthen their squads and cut the fat. If there's one league that has seen some big real estate moves in the summer, it's the URC United Rugby Championship. With the merger of the Celtic Pro 14 and South African Pro Rugby occurring last year, the URC has established itself as one of the most exciting leagues in world rugby. With South African, Irish, Welsh, Scottish and Italian teams all plying their trade in the competition, there's a lot of potential for rugby transfers to occur. With the South Africans and Irish dominating the league and playoffs last year, it's no surprise that the Welsh, Scottish and Italian teams are attempting to boost their squads through some tasty acquisitions. I'm Benny from Catch 22 Rugby, and in no particular order, here are 15 huge transfers in the URC. Number 1. Malachi Fakatoi to Cardiff. We kick our list off with arguably one of the biggest signings in the league. Welsh international Fakatoi has finally made his return to Welsh rugby by signing a deal with Cardiff Rugby. The 31-year-old back rower has established himself as one of the best number 8s in world rugby, having amassed over 90 caps for Wales and represented the Lions on 3 separate tours. The Tongan-born Gwent-raised powerhouse joins the Welsh capital from Bath, having spent half a decade playing at the Rec. Number 2. Eben Etzebeth to the Sharks. Speaking of powerhouses, it doesn't get much bigger than 6'8" Eben Etzebeth. The Springbok Centurion and World Cup winning lock has achieved many great successes over the past decade, and his return to South Africa has turned many heads. Etzebeth leaves the French superstars Toulon in favour of a move to the Chelsea Sharks. With the South African sides dominating the URC playoffs last season, the Sharks' move for Eben will surely establish the South Africans as dominant players when it comes to next season's URC. Number 3. Malachi Fakatoi to Munster. With South Africans flourishing last year, many were disappointed in how the Irish teams performed in the inaugural playoffs. Munster fans were dealt a double blow last year, failing to get past the quarterfinals in the playoffs and learning their World Cup centre Damian Deolande was departing for Japan. So, what's an effective way to counter both these pieces of misfortune? How about signing a Tongan All Black? Malachi Fakatoi has established himself as a quality centre over the past decade, having played for Toulon and Wasps. The 30-year-old also has 24 All Black caps to his name, and following World Cup's changes to the eligibility law, he'll be representing Tonga in the years to come. Number 4. Liam Williams to Cardiff. Cardiff seem hell-bent putting the 2021 Demons behind them, and there seems to be no better way of doing that than signing your second line of the summer. Bomb diffuser Williams has long been a marquee player for Wales, having collected 79 caps and being the man to dethrone Lee Halfpenny as Wales' starting fullback. The two-time Lions tourist comes with an impressive CV, having won titles with the Scarlets and Saracens over the last decade. Although concerns have been raised over his injury record and lack of club minutes in recent years, there is no doubting his talent and star factor. Sanjay ends a second spell with the Scarlets in favour of a move to the former Blues. Number 5. Sam Hidalgo Klein to Benetton. If you're looking for a well-travelled and experienced scrum half, look no further than Sam Hidalgo Klein. The Scotland international has played for multiple teams over the years, including Edinburgh, Scarlets, Harlequins, Racing, Lyon and Exeter, littered between various call-ups to the Scottish team and their Sevens programme. Sam joins the Italian side Benetton, who despite being labelled as whipping boys throughout their pro rugby years, are definitely a team on the up. Having contributed many talents towards the Italian team, they've also won a one-off Rainbow Cup during the COVID pandemic seasons. With the right guidance and right recruitment, such as Sam, the Treviso men could cause some serious upsets moving forward. Number 6. Jeffrey Tomanga Allen to Ulster. Time for another All Black to make the list as we talk about Tomanga Allen. The tight head prop from New Zealand made a good name for himself in Northern Hemisphere rugby, having gained 60 appearances for Wasps. The 6'4" scrummager is a big brute who also displays a touch of finesse in open play, and he departs the Coventry outfit for Belfast. The Ulstermen reached the semi-finals of the playoffs last season, and with the one-time All Black now amongst their ranks, who knows how far Ulster can push their rivals this year. Their first URC title could be calling. Number 7. Hugh Jones to Glasgow Warriors. Ask any Scot about the 2018 Calcutta Cup, chances are they'll mention Hugh Jones. The Scottish centre's 45-metre try against the English is written into folklore and established himself as hot property in the rugby market. Jones' story is a very global affair. Born in Scotland to parents with Welsh heritage, hence the name, schooled in England, then relocated to South Africa during his gap year. It was in the Rainbow Nation where Hugh broke through the rugby ranks. His time at Western Province converted into a senior contract with the Stormers. Jones returned to his homeland in 2016 after coaches discovered his nationality on, of all things, Wikipedia, where he added 40 senior appearances while playing for the Warriors. Jones did depart Glasgow in the 2021-22 season, joining then English champions Harlequin, but after 12 months south of the border, he returned home to Glasgow for the new URC campaign. Number 8. JJ Hanrahan to the Dragons. This summer's been very eventful for the Dragons. Not only have they attempted to put the years of mediocrity behind them with a complete rebrand, they've also completely redesigned their squad. While a few of those new faces will appear on this list, the first to speak about is the acquisition of Irish fly half JJ Hanrahan. County Kerry man John Joseph is a versatile back who can also play in the centre and as fullback, and in the past 10 years he's played for Munster, Northampton Saints and Clermont. Having clocked over 800 points in professional rugby, JJ has a wealth of experience, and when he decided to leave Clermont this summer in favour of the Newport outfit, a statement of intent was clearly made by the Dragons. Perhaps unlucky not to have collected a senior Irish cap during his 30 years, the club record speaks for itself however, and the Dragons have obtained a top class talent nonetheless. Number 9. Rhodri Jones to the Dragons. Staying with the Dragons, the second big summer signing was that of tight head Rhodri Jones. Jones has re-established himself after some slight issues in his early career. Debate over his position hampered his younger years, but at the Ospreys under Toby Booth, Rhodri has become part of one of the best scrummaging departments in the URC. Call-ups to Wales soon followed. With an Ospreys prop chart consisting of Tom Francis, Nicky Smith, Gareth Thomas, Marfu Fear and Tom Botha, not to mention emerging talents like Rhys Henry and Garen Phillips, Ospreys had no choice but to lighten their budget somewhere. A solid capture by the Dragons as Rhodri heads eastbound down the M4 to boost the Dragons' scrum significantly. Number 10. Sam Skinner to Edinburgh. Standing at 6'5", the lock/back rower Skinner has been a notable addition to Scotland since 2018. Bursting on the scene as a youngster in Somerset, Skinner was picked up by the Scottish Exiles programme and developed into a fully fledged international after breaking into the ranks at Exeter Chiefs. At 27 years old, Sam has spent the entirety of his professional career at Exeter, winning 2 English titles and racking up over 100 appearances for Rob Baxter's side. With the 2023 World Cup fast approaching, Skinner leaves Exeter for Edinburgh as the Scottish capital look to host their international prospect in the lead up to France 2023. Number 11. Vaea Fifita to the Scarlets. Considering they're a Westphalian rugby club, the Scarlets have Llanelli always seemed to be linked with New Zealand rugby. They famously beat the All Blacks in the 70s, All Blacks legend Sean Fitzpatrick as a board member at Parker Scarlets, and their latest recruit has also worn the famous black jersey 11 times. The 6'5" Tongan-born Kiwi arrived on the scene in Wellington, where he was swiftly picked up by the Hurricanes. After 6 years on the North Island, Fifita swapped Wellington for Wasps as he linked up with the English side in 2021. After one season at the Ricoh Arena, Fifita joined the mass list of Wasps departures as they attempted to lighten their wage load, and in the process, the Scarlets got themselves a top quality forward who will cause some serious damage in the Welsh Shield division of the URC. Number 12. Wes Goosen to Edinburgh. Joining Sam Skinner at Edinburgh, New Zealand winger Wes Goosen. Having found his footing playing for the Hurricanes in Wellington, Goosen represented the All Blacks in the 20 back in 2015, where he was part of the Oceania Championship winning side. He is a natural try scorer and knows how to find the line, having scored 30 tries in 66 Super Rugby appearances. The South African-born Kiwi is still only 26, so has plenty of rugby still left in him. He strengthens the Edinburgh wing division greatly, with Mike Blair having the option of selecting Wes alongside the likes of Darcy Graham, Hoyland and Argentinian superstar Buffelli. Number 13. Thomas Young to Cardiff. As the old stereotype goes in youth rugby, he only got picked because he's the coach's son. Well, not many people will be saying that to the Young family. Well, as Dad Di may be the head coach of Cardiff, Thomas Young definitely won't get selected through nepotism. The Welsh flanker has carved out a fantastic career that's seen him run out for Wasps nearly 150 times, resulting in 3 caps for Wales. With his eye towards more Welsh caps in the future, Young relocates back to South Wales to one of the 60-cap Welsh rule, where he links up with an impressive Cardiff back row division consisting of the likes of Botham, Ellis Jenkins, Turnbull, Navidi, Shane Lewis-Hughes, James Ratty, and the newly acquired Tulupe Faletau. Another significant loss for Wasps, but Young leaves Coventry for the URC. Number 14. Rob Evans to the Dragons. There was a time where Rob Evans could have been considered for a Lions call-up. 39 caps for Wales that has seen Grand Slams, Six Nations Championship and World Cup campaigns on the CV. And with over 150 caps for the Scarlets, winning a Pro 14 title in the process, Rob's trophy cabinet certainly isn't bare. The 30-year-old prop has spent his entire career at the Scarlets, with a few appearances for their dev side Carmarthen littered throughout. The Pembrokeshire product is a fan favourite in Westworld, so it was a sad day internationally when they announced his departure this summer, but Scarlet's loss is Gwent's gain, as the Dragons swooped up the international during their impressive list of summer recruits. Number 15, Hugh Tompkinson to the Dragons. And to wrap up our list, that's mostly consisted of New Zealanders and Dragons signings, it makes sense to talk about a New Zealander joining the Dragons. Hugh Tompkinson arrived in Rodney Parade after 5 seasons with the Highlanders setup. The 26-year-old centre from Dunedin represented the All Blacks under-20s in his youth before standout performances in Otago paved the way for a future Highlanders contract. Playing alongside Malachi Fakatoi, who's also featured on this list, Hugh's already impressed the Dragons in a pre-season fixture against Bristol. A youthful signing with plenty of miles on the clock, he's someone who can definitely bring excitement to the Dragons backline. And that's our list. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe. I've been Benny from Catch 22 Rugby, and we'll see you in the next one.